Alright, I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Today what I got in store is another deck of mine from Magic the Gathering. Inside this panda box is my first, I believe, Modern Legal deck that I've ever shown on this channel, and my first Modern Legal deck that I've ever made. I've been bringing it to my Friday Night Magic because people there, they play pretty much with formats, and Modern seems to be the most popular one, so I went together and put together a deck that fits it, because I'm so used to just playing tabletop Magic with friends with no real format. So it's interesting to play in a format now. And yeah, this is what I put together. This is a mono black discard deck. But before we get into what's inside this cute little panda box, I just want to mention that I did get 2 more patrons, and I did write their names on these tokens. I'm going to be keeping them all together. Pretty amazing how much support I'm actually getting from people about my channel, and I can't believe it. And yeah. I'm amazed, and I'm so happy and so thankful. Thank you all for supporting me, and yeah, thank you so very much. Anyways, let's break into this deck box and see what we have. Right off the bat, I got a whole bunch of zombie tokens. I think these are all the zombie tokens I own, even though there's a good chance I will never have to use all of these. So this is some zombie tokens. The Mojo Digital Life Scorekeeper. Pretty cool, did a review on that the other day. Check it out if you want. And yeah, let's just go into the components of this deck. This is a mono black deck, so it only has swamps and it has 2 non-basic lands. So let's just go in and check out what I got. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 basic swamps. And I have 2 Rogue's Passage. It is a non-basic land that has tap, add 1 to your mana pool. 4 and tap, target creature can't be blocked this turn, so make a creature unblockable if you pay 4 and tap it. Pretty cool, get some extra damage through to a planeswalker, to an opponent that you want. Pretty fun. Really like this card. I throw it in lots of decks because it's nice to have an unblockable creature. There's a whole bunch of discard spells in this deck, and I'm going to be showing you them all. The first one I have is Raven's Crime. I have 3 copies. It's a 1 black for sorcery. Target player discards a card. So just make him discard a card, and has Retrace. You may cast this card from your graveyard by discarding a land card in addition to paying its other costs. So play this, maybe turn 1 if you even put it in your graveyard. And then throughout the game, I'm sure you have a land in your hand that you don't need. Most of the spells in this deck are quite small. Just discard that land and retrace and discard the land, pay a black, and make him discard again. And I have 3 though, so pretty cool. It's like a flashback cost. Awesome. And you can just keep retracing if you want. Like it. Pretty fun card. The next one I have 3 Funeral Charm. I believe it is the only instant speed discard spell that I'm aware of. It's 1 black from Visions. Pretty crazy looking cogwork thing. Not sure what that is. Looks like the eye of a creature or something bizarre. Maybe like a lathe. I don't even know. Instant from Visions. It says choose 1. There's 3 choices on here. Target player chooses and discards a card. Or target creature gets +2, -1 until end of turn, or target creature gains Swamp Walk until end of turn. Swamp Walk is, if defending player controls any swamps, that creature is unblockable. So pretty cool. Make them discard a card at instant speed, so if they have 0 cards in the hand and they draw and you have this, play it, make them discard the card they just drew. Or if they like a 1/1 creature out you want to get rid of, this can be counted as some removal. Give that creature +2, -1, reducing its toughness to 0, killing it right away. Or target creature gains Swamp Walk until end of turn. So if they have a swamp and you want to get a creature to do damage to whatever, go ahead and put this out, give it Swamp Walk till the end of turn. Pretty cool, like the choices with this. Awesome card. And I was very surprised that this is Modern Legal, but it is. The next card I got, really awesome card. I have 4 of these. 4 Blackmail from, what is this, Invasion? No, it's not Invasion, I can't even think of it. Oh, that's gonna drive me crazy, I can't remember the set name. Oh well. It's 1 black sorcery. Target player reveals 3 cards from his or her hand, and you choose 1 of them. That player discards that card. Oh, it's Onslaught. That's the name of it. But yeah. So they show you 3 cards from their hand. You choose 1 of them, discard it. And this is a discard deck, so you have 4 copies of these. So I'm sure by a couple of these copies, they'll be down to 3 cards, and you'll pretty much get to see their whole hand, which is awesome. I wanted to get like Thoughtseize and stuff like that, but I decided to settle on this instead because it is a little bit cheaper. Maybe one day I'll get like a Thoughtseize or 4 of them. That would make this deck really awesome. But this card I think is a little bit underrated and pretty much works the same as Thoughtseize. a couple turns into the game. Pretty awesome. I'm running 4 of those. Next card I got 3 Wrenched Mind, 2 black. It's a sorcery. Its target player discards 2 cards from his or her hand unless he or she discards an artifact card from his or her hand. So I'll make him discard 2 cards for 2 black. The card Hymn to Torch, I believe, from Falling Empires is not modern legal, otherwise I'd be running that, because that makes him discard 2 cards by random, which is probably the best discard spell in all of Magic. Discarding 2 cards is amazing, and discarding 2 by random is even better. But so I put some of this instead. Discard 2 cards, and they just discard 2 unless they discard an artifact instead. So if someone has a hand with an artifact card and other cards, it takes them a little bit of time to think what makes more sense: discard 2 cards or get rid of 1 artifact. Some mind games with that. Pretty cool discard spell. The next card I got 3 Stupor. This is pretty awesome. 3 mana cost, 2 and 1 black for a sorcery. Target opponent discards a card, and then discards a card at random, then discards a card. So they make them discard 2 cards, 1 at random, and then they discard another. Pretty awesome, pretty awesome. Like this card quite a bit. Pretty wild looking art. Some like aura swimming around in him or something like that. I don't understand what it has to do with this card, but I guess it does. Next, I have a little bit of removal slash discard slash just like hold him down a little bit. I have 3 Smallpox, 2 black for a sorcery. This guy looks like he's got smallpox. He looks like he's in a well or something like that. They put him in some well. They're like, you're going to stay down there until you're no more. Each player loses 1 life, discards a card, sacrifices a creature, then sacrifices a land. So this affects me and my opponent. We each lose a life. We each discard a card. We each sacrifice a creature, then sacrifice a land. It's okay. I'm fine with discarding a card. I'm fine with this sacrificing a creature. And I'm fine with sacrificing a land. Most of the spells in this deck are quite inexpensive, so it wouldn't bother me to get rid of one of my lands. Wouldn't really bother me to get rid of one of my lives. Or sacrifice a creature. That's alright with me because I don't have that many creatures in here, and I don't rely on them 100% of the time to finish the game. So I'm running 3 of these. Pretty cool. The next card I got, starting to get into my enchantments, I believe. I have 3 Waste Knots. Pretty cool card. Really like it. Really like the art on it. He's holding this like glowing skull. He looks like a merchant that has an answer to everything, and this card kind of does. Especially with this card. He's got like a face wrap on. It looks like he's a weird mouth, and he's like got a bag of glowing skulls. He's like, take this, 10 pennies. 1 and a black for an enchantment. Whenever an opponent discards a creature card, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. So if you make them discard a creature, you gain a 2/2 zombie token. It just enters the battlefield. It doesn't enter tap, which is pretty cool. So it just boom, you get a zombie. And whenever an opponent discards a land card, add 2 black to your mana pool. So if they discard a land, add 2 to your mana pool, and you'll probably be able to make them discard another card with another discard spell. And then whenever an opponent discards a non-creature, non-land card, draw a card. Pretty cool. Oh, I didn't realize it's designed by the Magic community. Huh. That's pretty cool. I wonder how they made this card. Interesting. But yeah, that's why I have these zombie tokens. Obviously, I doubt I'm going to need this much, but I just want to keep my zombie tokens together. Pretty cool card, especially with discard deck. Whenever they discard anything, you're going to either gain a zombie token, a 2/2, 2 black mana, or draw a card. Pretty awesome, give you lots of advantage. The next cards that I got a playset 4 of Liliana's Caress. This is like a Magrim, but 1 cheaper. 1 in a black. Enchantment. Whenever an opponent discards a card, that player loses 2 life. Pretty cool. And all these cards pretty much up to Waste Not make you discard. So if they discard a card, boom, they lose 2 life, and these will stack. So if they discard a card and you have 1 out, they lose 2. If you discard a card and they have 4 out, 2, 4, 6, 8, they lose 8 life. Pretty wild, pretty cool. The next card I have 4 Racks. 1 generic cost for an artifact, the Rack. At the end of target opponent's upkeep, the Rack deals that player 1 damage for each card fewer in his or her hand than 3. So if they have 4 cards in their hand and it's their upkeep at the end of it, they get no damage. If they have 3 cards, still no damage. If they have 2, deals 1 damage to them. If they have 1, deals 2 damage to them. If they have 0, they take 3 damage. Pretty cool, especially with the discard deck, because you're going to be getting their hand down very tiny, so they'll be taking damage pretty much every turn. The next card I got are my creature cards. I have 2 Ravenous Rats. Beautiful art. Love this. I believe this is Portal, Second Age. Really like the toughness and defense. The the power and toughness. It's like a sword for power. Toughness is the shield. Beautiful art by Edward P. Beard Jr. It's a 1 and a black for a 1/1 rat. Rats. Ravenous rats. It looks like they're eating some like scroll or something like that. Pretty much they're getting rid of information, and when you play this card, you make an opponent get rid of information. When Ravenous Rats comes into play from your hand, your opponent chooses and discard a card from his or her hand. So when it comes into play, it's a creature and a discard spell. Cool. I got 2 of these. Really like this card. Next creature card I got is an Augur of Skulls. 1 of the black creature skeleton wizard. That's a 1/1. It has for 1 black, regenerate Augur of Skulls, or sacrifice Augur of Skulls. Target player discards 2 cards. Play this ability only during your upkeep. I only have 1 of these in here. I'm still trying to figure out which card is better, the Ravenous Rats or the Augur of Skulls. This comes into play, they discard a card instantly, and this creature stays out. But this card, you gotta kill it, but they discard 2 cards. So I'm still trying to figure that out. And you can only play it during your upkeep, but cool, make him get rid of 2 cards. Awesome. Next card I got 2 Hypnotic Scepter. 1 and 2 black. It's a 2/2 creature with flying, so pretty much half the time you'll be able to get damage to, because flying is pretty good in Magic, and a lot of times they won't have ways to block it unless they have a creature with reach or flying, and I haven't seen reach in a little bit. An opponent damaged by Scepter must discard a card at random, which is awesome from his or her hand. So if it deals damage, they discard a card by random. Ignore this effect if they have no cards left in hand. So pretty much get some damage in and make them discard a card by random. Awesome. The next creature I have 3. This is probably my favorite creature in here. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. Nexathid. I have 3 of them. It's a 7/7 creature for 1 and 2 black. For only 3 mana, you get a 7/7, but it has a little downfall. When it comes into play, choose an opponent. Obviously, you're going to choose your opponent, and it gets -1 for each card in the chosen player's hand. But since it's a discard deck, I'm sure that they're going to have less than 7 cards in their hand. But if they had 7 cards in their hand and you played this instantly goes to the graveyard. Most of the time I'll get this playing out for like a 5/5 or like a 7/7, honestly. Because if they only have 2 cards in their hand, this is a 5/5. But if they have 0 cards in their hand, this is a 7/7. And this is awesome. And it works well with like Rogue's Passage. Just get some damage right through, make them unblockable. And boom, get some hurting. Pretty cool, running 3 of those. And then the last card I got is a Mind Slicer. 2 and 2 black for a creature horror from Odyssey. Really cool art. It's got like horns, it's got like some weird spiky hands. It can't really grab anything, can't really itch himself. Doesn't even look like he has eyes. Looks like he's drooling from his bone mouth. Pretty crazy. It's a creature horror for a 4/3. When Mind Slicer put into a graveyard from play, each player discards his or her hand. So both of you just discard your hand when this dies. It is the thing that goes bump in the night. Yeah, as you see that walking out in the alley, run away screaming. Pretty cool card. I'm not sure how this plays that well in this deck yet. I haven't had that many times to play this card. But if you get rid of it, use like a smallpox, sacrifice it, or just let this die. Both you and your opponent discard your whole hand. But usually by the time I have this much mana, they don't have a big hand. But if they did, they'd get rid of it all. And I'd get rid of mine, but that's okay. And it would trigger abilities like Waste Not and Leon's Caress and the Rack, and just make them take a lot of damage. So this card, I still have to test more about how amazing this card is in here. Anyways, this is my mono black discard deck. I'd love it if you guys give me pointers and told me what you think I should do. I do think I should get some Thoughtseize or Inquisition of Kozilek. Those are some great cards as well. And I'd like to know any other card you think. And a lot of people tell me not to use creatures in this deck, but I like it. This is my little variation, and I'm going to keep it up. And yeah, thanks guys for stopping by. Thanks to all my Patreon supporters. I really appreciate it. And I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you later.